Chris, I think it's time. We're together. We're recording. It is time for me and you to do a mock draft for the Detroit Lions. What are you feeling? 2 rounds, 2 round
Well,
mock draft.
yep, let's do 2 rounds. That's our thing. We got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and I think we can really
Absolutely.
get a good feel now of what we're gonna do this draft. And yeah, let's work through it and see what we got.
What team should we pick for? You think we should pick for the
Golly
Lions?
jeepers! Brad
It's
Holmes is
hard,
terrible.
isn't
Let's
it?
do the Lions.
Okay, let's do the Lions. Let's enter the draft. All right, so here's how this works. We're using PFF. On the left here, you get to see all the picks that are being taken. These are our remaining picks, and that's pretty much all of it. This is the first time we've done a mock together, but because we're recording, we wanted to bring it to you live so you can hear our thought processes as we go through this. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start this draft. It's on turbo speed, so it went pretty chalk to an
Yep.
extent. You got Bryce Young, CJ Stroud 1, 2 in some order. Will Anderson goes 3 to the Cardinals. Anthony Richardson. By the way, on ESPN, I saw a mock draft where Richardson didn't go in the top 20 just recently. And then you go Tyree Wilson, the edge from Texas Tech, in the 5th pick, which leaves us at pick 6, what would have been not long ago a dream scenario.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you thinking about this? Because it brings up the Jalen Carter dilemma.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is pick 4 there with the Colts. The Colts have put themselves in a bad position. I don't think Anthony Richardson is necessarily worth a 4th-round pick or 4th overall pick, or
Okay.
Will Levis either. But the Colts need a quarterback, so they're going to have to take one of those guys. So then just depends on what the Seahawks do. So I am a Jalen Carter guy. Like, I just feel like yes, there's been some shaky things, but why not take him? And I know we've already talked about this at length in some other videos, and people are like, no, don't take him.
Yeah.
If the Detroit Lions take him, that means we've done all our due diligence. They feel comfortable. Let's go. This guy will get rolling. Compared to like Warren Sapp is what I've seen, where it's like Warren Sapp had some stuff going on.
Oh, of course he did. Yeah.
But Warren Sapp, Warren
He had a
Sapp,
decent
like, well, he
career.
was great. Well, he was actually a pretty sketchy off the field. So I'm okay with Jalen Carter. Where are you at with him?
I struggle a little bit. So here's kind of where I'm at. Last year we were pretty clear on this. And I think it was when we were talking about Thibodeau, right? And should
Yep.
the Lions draft Thibodeau? And it was all about, hey, I'm looking at talent. I'm going to look at talent, and I'm going to let the Detroit Lions look at character and football intelligence and how bad they want it. I'm going to let the Lions take care of that. And that's kind of what we ended up doing, right? And we ended up getting the second pick. We got Hutchinson. They decided not to go Thibodeau. It was a good idea. So when I look at this pick, there's really 3 options for me. Can I give you the 3 options?
Yep.
Jalen Carter, Will Levis is an option for me. And then my number 1 corner is Christian Gonzalez. I just think that dude is so fluid, and an outside shot at Peter Skoronski because he can create. You can't pay 4 offensive linemen at the same time. So bringing him in the fold now as an eventual replacement for Decker, maybe even, as weird as it sounds, Jackson, but that's the 4th look outside looking in. So I'm on those. I think we can both agree that Will Levis is just not there at this point.
Yep.
We're not there yet. So it's between, for me, Jalen Carter and Christian Gonzalez. I would take Christian Gonzalez all day if we didn't have the 18th pick. But with the 18th pick, I think I might take Jalen Carter. So I know that's what you want, so I'm going to do it.
Let's
all right.
do it.
So there he is. So we picked him. Christian Gonzalez went with the very next pick, and then Will Levis. Okay. So we're not that crazy. Then Van Ness, Johnson, wide receiver. Skoronski went 11. That's funny that they had the Bears taking Lucas Van Ness. They're not going to take him. Witherspoon, 12. Paris Johnson, Miles Murphy. He's an outside one for me at 6, by the way.
Yep.
Broderick Jones, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Joey Porter Jr., which leaves us here with pick 18. And this is what I feared. My fear was that if we went D tackle, interior defensive lineman with the 6th pick, that Kalijah Cansey would still be here, and then I'd regret the pick.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a position? Is there anything that you feel like I need to look at that you want to look at for the 18th pick?
Well, so who's left? This is what's interesting. This is what we talk about, because who's left at corner now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm gonna go check this out, and some of these, it's like, all right, there's a couple of good players that might not be
Cam
viewed as
Smith.
great. So
Yep.
Cam Smith has dropped like a rock in
Crazy.
drafts. While Deonte Banks has just flown up draft boards, and that was because of his combine, right? And the speed that he has. But when you watch his films, his highlights are a bunch of receivers getting catches on him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love the cornerback position at 18. I think there's a bunch of guys, Garrett Williams, Hodges Tomlinson, Stevenson, all these guys that are later. Julius Brents, I like him a lot. Look at Ringo all the way down here.
Wow.
So for me, I'm not necessarily going corner yet.
Nope.
Maybe Branch, but we do have 3 safeties.
Mm-hmm.
I know this sounds kind of weird, but I think I'd be tempted to go double down on Georgia defensive lineman and go Nolan Smith.
It's
I can't
weird.
believe he's still here.
It's weird. Both at 6 and 18. Doesn't it feel like it's like,
It's kind of picking from the same crew.
Yeah, it's so tough, because it's like kind of. So I'm good with that. I mean, seriously, I would be good with, because now there's Bijan, where it's like, all right, maybe you take him, and I'm more back on that. I was like, no, I don't even mess with a running back, because I think we can find him later. But man, Bijan there, just because I don't have anyone else standing out at position of need, like a linebacker or somebody that I really need. So, and we just did defensive or an interior lineman, defensive lineman. So if there's a good receiver, I would be okay with that. But I mean, I'm okay
there's
with
a really good chance Quentin Johnson in real life lasts till here.
That would be unbelievable, and
I don't think Nolan Smith does last till this. But here's kind of what I'm saying for future mocks. You still have Brian Breesy. You still have Mozzie Smith. You still have Kalijah Cansey. I mean, like, that's why I'm thinking to myself, either, with the number 6 pick, I'm either thinking Myles Murphy or Tyree Wilson, depending on who's available in the future. But let's go Nolan Smith here, because we just got ourselves a great edge.
Absolutely,
just an athletically skilled edge. And so, go ahead.
I was just going to say, on this pick, I would love to go and be okay with going, now that we're in the second round, going with our offensive line, just to bolster and to get depth. So I just saw that tackle was the first guy I saw. So I started to think about that. But now here's where you can go backup quarterback. Because again, we don't have a backup quarterback, really. I mean, we re-signed what's his name, but that's still an area. So there's Tanner McKee there as well. So what are you thinking here?
All right, so here's my question for you. I think there's a couple of good players here. I think, and here's what I'm saying. I completely understand going offensive line in this spot. Totally get it. Totally get going quarterback, because Tanner McKee is still here. All right. I just want to look at one more position, and that's linebacker. All right. And so the 2 linebackers that I like are already gone. Actually, the 3 linebackers I like most. Daiyan Henley's good. He's just a little bit older. So I think the question becomes, all right, we want a tackle possibly. We want a backup quarterback. Which one do you think is more likely to last? I know which one I think is more likely to last, and it's Tanner McKee.
Yep.
Okay. So you want to go Dawand Jones out of Ohio State?
Let's
been a consistent player.
Let's do it.
All right. Dawand Jones. Did he make it? Yeah, Tanner McKee made it. I think he would. Do we want to go Tanner McKee here? Or do you want to mess around? Maybe go Garrett Williams corner, something along those lines?
Yeah, I was going to say we still haven't addressed corner. It'd be nice to get a young corner. Still
got Tavarius Hodges Tomlinson. If it was a 3-round draft, I'd just let him stay there. Eli Ricks, Julius Brents. I like these guys. I would rather have Brents out of all the cornerbacks personally.
Yeah. He's a big corner. Yeah,
this is where me and you are going to have a conversation. Do you want to set up our quarterback room for the future, or do you want to go Julius Brents here? 6'3", 198. He's a good player.
Yeah, I like I like Brent's. I like you and I have been we've been on and off, but I'm not a big backup quarterback guy right now. Like, all right, we got to find a
Okay.
quarterback. I'd I'd love to find our cornerback though. So I'm Julius Brents is it would be mine.
Okay. So outside of Brent's, because people are starting to pick him earlier. Obviously, we got an A on our two. On our, I still think it's hilarious. Nolan Smith at 21, or I'm sorry, at 18. If he's still there at 18, that grade in real life is not getting a B. I can
No,
promise you that much.
dude,
I
that is
I
a
can
great.
promise you that
That's
much.
big time. Yeah, I love it.
So we did a lot of things there. We improved. We spent the first 3 picks on the trenches, which are absolutely huge. The only one that I think people would look at that and be like, "Why did you pick DeJuan Jones tackle?" And I think the answer for that is really really simple. We're already paying Decker. We're paying Ragnow. We're about to pay Sewell, and we're about to pay Jackson. And I mean, not about to pay Sewell, like in 2 years.
Yep.
So, and he's going to get paid if you're seeing what tackles are making these days. So basically what we're saying is we're drafting a tackle for the future so that when you have to pay Sewell, you have someone there to take Decker's spot. So you
Yep.
don't have to keep paying Decker. It's
Yep.
really that simple. Yeah.
And Decker's older than we all think. He's been in there through the Patricia era, all that stuff, right? And so he's older than
Yeah.
we think. So Decker's got a couple more years, perfect, love it. And then you've got a guy because that's not a position you want to be screwing around with. And if he's there, great. And we don't really have depth there because we had Skipper, we had some other things going on at tackle, like a true. All right, let's bring in a tackle. It'd be nice to have somebody.
We don't have depth there. I think. Yeah, we don't.
I don't think we do.
It's and we didn't last year. So at some point we're going to have to draft a tackle. It's all developmental guys at this point. I mean, that's really what it is. And 1-year contract type guys, but nobody that you're just like, yup, that's my backup swing tackle. No problem. I'm not worried about it. At some point, we're going to have to address that. Our free agency has put us in position where we can use a 2nd round pick to get a uber talented guy that doesn't necessarily have to play now today.
Exactly.
And so I think that's really good.
And he will. That's the thing. It's like, well, I want a guy that's going to play. It's like, gosh, I 100% can guarantee you that one of those tackles will get hurt throughout the year. Plug in another good tackle, and we're good to go. So love it.
With the draft we had here, Washington, the tight end, was off the board. So we went tackle. Ben Johnson loves to put that 6th offensive lineman in. Like he'll find the field. I promise you that.
Oh, he will exactly. They will be used for sure. So I love it. I think this is good. I mean, it's fun to see. There's so many combinations, and we know one thing: Brad Holmes will not do what we just did. He will do something.
He will not do.
He will trade back, trade up. He's going to do something awesome. So it's all good though.
All right, we got to end this video, but isn't it amazing how every year there's one player where you're just like, I have no idea what to do with that guy.
Nope, exactly.
This year, right? I never thought it would be Jalen Carter
for us too. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Maybe the Seahawks will take care of that for us and we won't have to worry. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hit that subscribe button below. Leave a comment. What does your mock draft look like? What would you grade our mock draft? Be kind. And we will see you on the next one.
See you.